This is where we belong.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're giving you our list of 10 reasons to get excited about Starfield. After nearly 2 years of delays and anticipation, Starfield is finally on the horizon for Xbox and Bethesda fans, and it's shaping up to be the biggest launch of the year. What has you the most excited about Starfield? Let us know down in the comments.
We are not stopping. Whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity.
Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Character creation.
I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
Bethesda's older titles like Fallout 3 and Skyrim featured some pretty deep character customization settings for players to fiddle around with. Today, however, this feature across every other game has become a bit more streamlined with sliders and deeper customization that allow you to morph your character's face and body. Bethesda Game Studios is jumping into the modern age with brand new UI and assets for its character creation system. So you could potentially paste yourself into the game, or do what most of us do and create some unholy abomination.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
Ship customization. One of the biggest aspects that have drawn us to Starfield is the way Bethesda is handling spaceships. They could have easily made a handful of ships to reuse and recycle throughout the game, but on the contrary, we'll be given almost total freedom in creating our own spaceships. Ship parts are modular, allowing for a hearty amount of customization, and if you see any enemies with ships cooler than yours, you can take those too. Just board them and take down the whole crew, and it's yours to command. Which brings us to our next entry.
You can customize and upgrade everything you see here.
Space combat. If you've ever dreamed of flying your own X-Wing or TIE fighter like you see in Star Wars, well, you probably jumped into Star Wars Squadrons, but if you were itching for something a tad deeper or more technical, Starfield might have you covered. Dogfights in space will demand you divert power to different systems depending on your strategy. You can divert power to your weapons to maximize your damage, or divert it to your engines for a possibly speedy getaway, and more. Better make sure your piloting skills are up to snuff, because something tells us these dogfights are going to be a real challenge. Gunplay. The first time we saw gameplay of Starfield, actual gameplay with gunfights and exploration, the whole 9 yards, the combat had us a little bit worried. It looked slow and clunky, like the old days of Fallout 3, where the RPG mechanics came first, not the FPS mechanics. Where was the evolution that occurred over the last 15 years? Well, the showing at Xbox Games Showcase showed us it's been greatly improved. The combat is looking faster and tighter than before, so perhaps Bethesda has found a good balance between the combat's shooter mechanics and the RPG mechanics. New technology. Perhaps the most exciting piece of information we got from the Starfield Direct was how Bethesda was working on a brand new engine. As Todd Howard mentioned, Starfield was developed entirely on a brand new engine, simply dubbed Creation Engine 2. This new rendition of Creation Engine has allowed the studio to work on brand new character animations, rigging, physics, textures, everything. For the first time in what feels like ages, Bethesda Game Studios is finally evolving with the modern age of game development, and you can see this reflection in what we have seen of Starfield so far.
It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours.
Companions.
Welcome to Constellation.
We have a lot to talk about.
As with most RPGs, regardless of genre blending, you'll want to know what kinds of companions you may encounter as you venture forth. Starfield will provide a seemingly large number of companions for you to meet and explore the galaxy with. Of course, there will be a modest selection offered during the main story, but judging from the game's scope, you'll find plenty more in other corners of the galaxy. We just have to wonder how many of them might be missable, and if they have a possibility of turning against us, just as they did in Fallout 4 and some of the other games.
Relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
The galaxy itself.
That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too.
Speaking of your journey through the galaxy, Bethesda Game Studios has tried to properly convey the scope of Starfield, and it certainly sounds like a meaty game with its 1,000 planets, or more than 1,000 as Bethesda has stated. While many of these planets have been procedurally generated, the planets that Bethesda took time to handcraft seem massive and thought out. New Atlantis alone looks like a place we could get lost in for hours on end. We're not expecting any level of randomization like No Man's Sky was at launch, but it is important to remember that the galaxy will be vast and filled with mystery, just as space is in the real world.
So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level.
Contentious concepts reinvented. Fallout 4 introduced a new mechanic to the franchise that was divisive with many fans: base building. Regardless of how you felt about it then and how you feel about it now, Starfield will be the mechanic's brand new home, and it seems a bit more evolved than we saw it the last time, in Fallout 76. Just like in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, you'll build with a variety of assets and resources, depending on how much you have on hand, and you will even be able to assign one of your companions to take care of said outpost. Only this time, the companion you assign will give the outpost bonus stats in different areas. Perhaps more folks will take a liking to base building now that it's evolved a bit more. Fun with gravity. Obviously, not every planet is going to be like Earth and have gravity levels that are totally normal to us. Gravity is going to be a key component as you explore abandoned outposts and fight bandits. Yes, as expected, your jumps, speed, and weight will be affected, but it gets a bit more technical. Not only will your movement alter, but so will your guns. Your bullets may not fly as far or as fast as they normally would, which means you will have to play differently. Some planets may have little to no gravity, meaning your shots will propel you backwards in most scenarios. More reason to be mindful of a planet's stats, layout, and environment. Launch.
That's why we're here.
Main engines go. Ignition.
We honestly weren't expecting Starfield to come with a launch date as close as it is. You will finally be able to play Bethesda's first original game in nearly 3 decades on September 6th, 2023. But if you don't have an Xbox Series X or S, you might want to make sure your PC is beefed up a bit. The game will require rigs to have 16 gigabytes of RAM available and at least 125 gigabytes of storage space. Honestly, for a game like this, we're kind of surprised it isn't larger.
You're part of Constellation now. Part of our family. What you've found, it's the key to unlocking everything.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out some of our other videos here on MojoPlays, and don't forget to subscribe for more great stuff every day.